All right, hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic because today we're talking about everyone's favorite topic, taxes. So what we're going to talk about in this video is something to do with taxes. It's all about taxes. I want to talk about tax on your high yield dividends on this 100% dividend yield. I hope I can make this an exciting video on taxes for you because what we're going to be talking about today is a $200,000 investment into MSTY. What we're going to look at is a $200,000 investment in MSTY with the 89% dividend yield. We are going to look at the monthly income. This is the monthly income before taxes, and then I'm going to calculate the monthly and yearly income with taxes deducted. So in this video, I'm going to take you through exactly how kind of taxes work, my understanding of them. Look, I'm no tax expert. If you want a tax expert, maybe I would suggest moving away from YouTube and calling an accountant. But what I can do for this video is hopefully provide some guidance in the right direction. And I think we're going to do some percent. Of course, if you guys have any feedback, let me know in the comments. This video goes out to 3TT-M7J 2 days ago. They're like, can you do a video on how you would invest if there's a 30% withholding tax? Well, if there's a 30% withholding tax taken right off the top, $178,000 times 30% is $53,400. That's roughly only $124,600 in terms of yearly income if you're taking 30% off the top. But taxes don't work like that. The way that we're going to do it in this video is on the first $15,000, you're taxed 15%. And this is going off of federal tax rates. For the amount of $55,867 to, I'm just going to say $111,000, you're taxed at a 20% rate. And so what we're going to do in this video is using those brackets, we are going to see how much a $200,000 investment on MSTY, how much do we pay in taxes and how much do we actually get to keep. So if that does sound good, we're going to get into this video, but starting, I just want to say we're up to 7,203 subscribers, over 500 subscribers in the past 28 days. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. And first, let's get into this video. So starting off, taxes come in terms of dividends, taxes come in two categories, qualified and unqualified dividends, as I have listed up top here. Qualified dividends are more your long-term stocks. For example, Schwab, they pay a quarterly dividend, and qualified dividends, they have certain parameters around them, which puts them at lower income tax brackets such as 0, 15, and 20%. Whereas, for example, Yieldmax ETFs, they are not qualified dividends. They pay weekly. They don't qualify as qualified dividends, and they will be taxed as ordinary income, meaning MSTY will be taxed as ordinary income. Let's say if you were to work a job, it will be taxed the same. And so these taxes could be a lot higher, and they could reach as much as 37%, I'm pretty sure, in the US. But today we're talking about Canada. Canada, you can reach as high as 33%. But for example, in this example here with MSTY, we have a $200,000 investment. It says that at 89% dividend yield, we're receiving $178,000. We are not going to go to this marker here where it says 173 and go 29% because that's not how taxes work. They are progressive. You pay 15% on the first $55,000, then you pay 20.5% on the marker range from 55,000 to 111,000, and that's what we're talking about in this video today. We are going to figure that out. I understand there's also provincial taxes if you do live within a province in Canada, but today we're looking at the federal income tax brackets. So I have my calculator ready. Let's do this. MSTY. It says it has a 99% dividend yield. I kind of looked at previous distributions of this ETF, and it seems like an 89% is pretty fair. A 99% dividend goes off of this last dividend, $2.27 at the current share price, roughly about $30. As you can see here, they paid many dividends way above that, but they do have some below. And I just wanted to undercut it a little bit. So we're going with an 89, not a 99% dividend marker. As you can see right here, I'll bold that. Beautiful. So at this 89% rate, we earn $178,000. We already know that. Cool. So let's do some math, as everyone loves. On our first $55,877, we are getting taxed at a rate of 15%. So I just want to put this in right here. Maybe I can copy this. And if I go to my calculator, can I put this in? Would this be awesome? No, it does not. So we are going to have to go back and do that ourselves. $55,877. $55,877. Cool. So at this rate, we are getting taxed at a 15% rate. So that is $8,381 at this current marker. 8,380. Let's go back here. $81. Cool. So this is our first kind of tax bracket that we have to get through. And this is on 55,000. Now we jump to the next. And how I got this marker here is basically I took $55,867. We're going to do the first one together. $55,867. And I subtracted it from $111,733. 111,733. Boom. $55,866. That is our next kind of range at which our income will be taxed at 20.5%, if you're kind of sticking with me here. So what I need to do now is we have our $178,000 starting marker. We need to subtract $55,877 because we've already calculated 15% on this tax bracket. So we're going to do $178,000. And we are going to subtract this by 55 and just going back here, 877. Cool. So we are now left with $122,123. So $122,123. And this is so we can keep track exactly how much we still have left to go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take $55,866. $55,866, and we are going to multiply that by our next tax bracket, which is 20.5, as you can see right here, 20.5. Cool. So our next tax increment is $11,452. $11,452. Cool. Awesome. Now I am going to take a quick little water break, and we are going to get right back into it. So the next thing we have to do is subtract from this marker here. We have 122,123, and we are going to subtract what we just taxed. We took 11,000 out of this tax bracket. Now we have 55,866. 55,866. Boom. So we have $66,257 left to go. 66,200, and I think 57 was a 57. Yes, it was. Beautiful. So this is now going into our next tax bracket. So you can see here, we are still going to absorb a full tax bracket. So we're going to do $61,472. $61,472 times our next tax bracket, which is up to 26%. So you can see how taxes are progressive. You aren't necessarily paying the full 33% if you're making over $250,000 in terms of income, but taxes still eat away and they still do eat into your profits. So now we're looking at $15,982. $15,982. I'm actually having fun making this video. I didn't know taxes could be so fun. Are they really? Who knows? But we have to subtract this tax bracket from our money left over. $66,257. $66,257. Cool. Let's subtract $61,472. $61,472. Okay. Now for this last tax bracket, we have $4,785. 4785. What we have is we have 4785 times 29% because that's the amount left over that fits within this tax bracket of $173,205 to $246,000 if you stick with me here. So we have 4785 times 29%. So times 0.29. Okay, and we have reached the final marker, 1387. So what we're going to do now, 1387, we have to add all of these up. And what I'm going to do simply is I am going to go equals to make this nice super quick. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, close the bracket, boom. So on $178,000, we are going to pay $107,202 in terms of taxes. Okay, now if we take, for example, our starting value of $178,000, which is our earned income before taxes, and we subtract this by our tax that we calculated, we are going to have a profit on the year of $140,798. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this marker and I'm going to, boom, that is our yearly income. That is our yearly income with taxes deducted. So on $178,000, you'd receive $140,000 with $37,000 going to taxes. Now what we're going to do is let's calculate our monthly income. And for this, super simple, we're going to take this marker and we are going to divide by 12, and this will give us our monthly income. So as you can see, on a $200,000 investment, at first it looks like you're going to be receiving about $15,000, but going through the tax brackets, going through and checking our progressive measures, you see now that we're only going to be receiving $11,733. So taxes, they eat into your returns, of course. Are they as bad as they seem? No, because for example, you could say, hey, it looks like we're earning $178,000, we're taxed at 29%. That would be worse, but it's progressive. And you have to remember to fill in your income brackets as you go with the percents that are given. Of course, is this set in stone? No, because this is federal tax brackets. You might have to apply state or provincial tax on top of this as well. So that's another thing that could eat in. But I wanted to do a simple calculation to show you guys how taxes work and how they can eat into your returns. But of course, this shouldn't deter you from investing, because even with a $200,000 investment from MSTY, you are still netting it's going to be 100 soon, I promise. $11,733. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. This was a learning curve for myself as well, learning all about qualified dividends and then unqualified dividends, all about how taxes work through a progressive system, and then as well doing a calculation here. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me. These videos, they encourage you guys to get smarter, and they encourage myself to get smarter. So I love to make these videos. I love kind of pushing the boundaries and seeing, okay, exactly what are we returning? How do they work? And how can we get the best returns for ourselves? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We didn't even touch on any ways that you can potentially save taxes, but we could do that in another video if you guys are interested too. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, subscribe. We're up to 7,203 subscribers. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking to the end. I hope this was valuable, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.